side.
Accentuate the positive.
Always look on the bright side of
one bad movie at a time.
Welcome to Your Movie Rocks, an alternate ending podcast where all movies are great movies.
Even the bad ones?
Especially the bad ones. I'm your host, Mandy Albert, and on this month's show, it's actually a very special day for us. Well, a very special time for us. I don't know about actually a special day. If you are listening to this when it comes out, you are listening to this sometime around January 7th-ish, or maybe a little bit after. And as it turns out, January 3rd, 2026, Happy New Year, everybody, was the 10th anniversary of the Alternate Ending podcast. We're not doing anything special for it just yet, but who knows? Maybe we will somewhere down the line. But anyway, happy 10th birthday to Alternate Ending and the whole family. And how better to celebrate Alternate Ending's birthday than by doing what we do best, which is talking about great movies that we love very much. And to do that with me, I have a voice that you have not yet heard before. So everybody please join me in welcoming to the podcast, Allie Roberts. Allie, how you doing?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me.
I am so happy you were able to do this. So, you know kind of why I invited you on here. Would you like to tell the friendly people in the audience a little bit about your background and how you came to be doing this podcast?
Dr. Albert or Mandy Albert,
I know it's weird, but you can call me Mandy for these
I'll
purposes.
call you Mandy now? Okay, I'm calling you Mandy now. Okay, well, Mandy was the director of my thespian troupe when I was a high school student. Now I'm a sophomore in college in NYU film. So, yeah, Mandy has shared her lovely letterbox with me, and we both have connected over our love of films, including the bad ones. And yeah, so I'm here now, and after my it's cool to come back to this and talk to Mandy about movies after like 1.5 years of education at the film and TV program at NYU. So yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, you're now almost certainly more qualified to talk about movies than I am. So
Oh
this is going
gosh.
to be a fun conversation.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, most of my classes, I'd say though, are more production based. I have not been taking a lot of the theoretical classes, to be honest. That's more this upcoming semester. But yeah, like I maybe we'll see. I'm
I don't
excited.
know how much we're going to help you with theoretical stuff right here anyway.
Yeah, exactly. This is true. This is true.
All right. So, speaking of theoretical things, not theoretical things, if this is the first time that you are joining us, let me tell you a little bit about the format of this show. For every show, my guest assigns me a movie to watch and we discuss the movie, just like the 10,000 other movie podcasts you listen to, except there is a catch. No matter what, I'm only allowed to say nice things about the movie. My guest can say whatever they want, but me, only nice things. And furthermore, only sincere nice things. Not, I loved that the last 15 minutes of the movie were lost forever in a tornado. If I have nothing nice to say, I'm lying because every movie does something right. Now, on that note, Allie, what is the great movie that you have assigned me to watch for this episode of Your Movie Rocks?
So the movie I had you watch is this animated movie called Life's a Jungle, Africa's Most Wanted, directed by Robert D. Hanna. Um, it's 3D animated. It's an hour and 40 minutes long. And it centers on a dog named Pim. And Pim is a very pampered
Wait, is
pup.
it Pim or Pip?
Oh, sorry, Pip. My bad. It's Pip.
Okay. It's
Yes.
okay. I wasn't 100% sure what his name was for most of the movie, so I had to double check too.
Right. Well, the thing is, they didn't have a pop filter, when they were recording this, which was very unfortunate because every time they said his name, it kind of got mispronounced in some way. But anyway, yeah, so it follows a dog named Pip. He's this I think a beagle who wears like a sweater vest, and he's going on this African safari with his family, his owner, who's a young boy, and then he has his parents, and as they're driving, Pip gets knocked off the safari car because a rhino rams into it, and he gets lost in the jungle, and it's kind of about his adventures in the jungle coming from this very pampered background in I think it was Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Cambridge, Massachusetts,
Cambridge,
the big
Massachusetts.
city. Yes.
Yeah. And as he tries to adjust to life in I guess the cold, hard world of the jungle. They say it's a dog eats dog world out there. Yeah, and along the way he makes some new friends and some new enemies, including a Black Panther named Basha, two hyenas named Cuckoo and something else. I
Boo
forgot.
Boo, I think.
Boo
Cuckoo
Boo.
and Boo Boo.
Boo who what is it? Boo Boo and
I think it's Boo Boo and Cuckoo,
Boo Boo and Cuckoo. Okay. And then a like a baby panther named
whose
Callie
name is like Callie or Collie or Carly, depending on who was saying it.
who was saying it exactly. And then I forgot and then like a bird and like a an anteater. A lot of characters here, but
Yeah,
yeah,
there
and
was an animal that I never figured out what it was. Was he like an aardvark or an anteater or
I
a
think it was an
pig of
ant
some sort?
I think it was an anteater. I need to see. Give me a sec. Oh, it was Artie, I think, right?
Artie.
That's the name
Okay.
of the guy. I think it maybe it was an aardvark. I'm not sure. Wait,
He
I
looks like some kind of pig, I think.
no, it was an aardvark. It was an
Oh,
aardvark.
okay.
And his whole thing, he had that snout that could spit out like shoot things really far. Remember when he shot the bird out of the sky?
Is that a thing aardvarks can do?
Um, I don't know. I never knew that. I don't
I
know.
don't know anything about aardvark biology, so I would believe anything you told me right
I know
now.
that they eat ants, kind of like anteaters. So they have the snouts that can like that are really long.
Okay.
So maybe there's something to do with the physics there, but I don't know. The physics in this movie in general are very are very very interesting.
Well, I am inclined to trust Mr. Robert D. Hanna on matters of physics because apparently
Yeah.
that is what he studied in college.
There's no way.
The man has a degree in physics
There's no way. Wow. Okay, that's so interesting because I
for many
remember
reasons, yes.
wow, yeah, because for some reason I don't know in this universe whenever a character kind of like smacks another character or something you'd hear like a sound effect that I didn't know could theoretically physically work. Like I'd hear like glass breaking when someone's foot is getting stomped on or like I don't know, like I think in the opening Pim like slaps his nose to get a bug off of him, but it sounds like he punches himself in the face. It's like the sound effect choices are very, very interesting for
We will
this.
talk
Yeah,
some about the sound design in this
yeah,
movie because it is worth its own full conversation.
for
How
sure.
did this movie come into your life exactly?
Okay, so I don't know how old I was, but I was young enough to remember it, but forgot exactly how it came about. I think originally I thought it was my grandma, but it was actually my parents, now that I think about it. We were on a road trip or something, and we stopped at a library, and um essentially we were in a minivan and we had one of those minivans that have the like video screen up
Hmm.
there. We'd insert a disc to play a movie and um we only had a limited amount of movie discs with us on this road trip and eventually we watched I think it was like Toy Story 2
Okay.
so many times that not me or my brother who were in the back watching it were tired of it, but that my parents were tired of listening to it. So they were like, okay, we need to get you something new. So they went to the library and they found these discs that they could just rent out or borrow from the library. I don't know. I think they bought it. I don't remember. No, they probably rented it. I'm not sure. But anyway, somehow Life's a Jungle, Africa's Most Wanted got in there and they put it on, and that is what my brother and I watched. And I think because we that was like kind of one of the only discs we got. We had to watch it like more than once in order to get through the road trip. I don't But anyway, it's certain scenes have just stuck in my memory ever since. Certain images have stuck in my memory ever since. I don't know. Like
I'm sure we're going to cover a few of those.
yes. So anyway, yeah, that's how that movie came about. And actually, I made my parents sit down and watch it last night.
Oh,
Not the
good
whole
choice.
thing, not the whole thing because they didn't want to, but I showed them a couple clips and I was like, guys, this is what you put on for me and my brother, by the way. I don't know if you ever saw it, you might have just heard it, but this is what you put on for us. And my mom, she kind of looked very concerned, I guess. She was like, she kind of watched it and she kind of laughed. She's like, oh, okay. And then she came back kind of like 2 hours later after I'd shown it to her and she goes, was there a moral to that movie, by the way? Like, did you get anything out of it when you watched it? And I was like trying to like, I kind of like smile and I'm like, I think it's about freedom. It's about choosing freedom over comfort. That's what I came up with. And she was like, okay. And then she leaves. My dad thought it was hilarious though. He was like, he got a kick out of it. My brother, after we rewatched it together, he was like, oh my gosh, you just unlocked something. He was like, he didn't know what to say. He was like, "Oh my gosh, like wow, I do remember this." Anyway, crazy.
Clearly, a key part of the fine young people you have grown into today.
Exactly. Yeah. Made me who I
Yes.
am.
So, I loved this movie,
Mm-hmm.
but there is something small that we should address about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
My research indicates to me that this came out a couple of months before Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. I don't suppose there is any relation between the Madagascar franchise and Life's a Jungle, Africa's Most Wanted, is there?
Well, obviously Madagascar just copied it. Obviously
Obviously, yes.
Madagascar just ripped it off. I mean, you know.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah.
Madagascar, by which we mean Life's a Jungle, Africa's Most Wanted, belongs to that beloved genre of film among low-budget trash pandas of the cinematic arts called mockbusters.
Okay.
Some of you in the alternate ending out, and wow, I can't talk. Some of you in the alternate ending audience out there will already be familiar with mockbusters because you, if you hang out amongst our community, have been around as a few of them became memes among us. Like many of you out there may remember the Prince for Egypt virus that spread around our little group a couple years ago. So this is one of those. Mockbusters, for those of you who don't know the term out there, are ultra low budget cash grabs, basically. So it will be a movie that just came out or a movie that is about to come out, where some very, very scrappy little studio will produce a movie that's intended to capitalize on the success of the real movie in some way, shape, or form. So it will be a very similar title, like Prince for Egypt or like Mad Road Max Fury. I think that's a real one or something like that. And it will only bear like the very slightest resemblance in any way, shape, or form to the real movie, but it is designed to basically fool gullible people into buying it
I
instead of the
see.
real movie.
I see. I see. So
Yeah, so
it
that's yeah, go
So
ahead.
I so me and my brother when we watched this, we were the intended audience in the sense that like, oh, it was like our parents or whoever getting fooled into to buying this or into getting this for us and like
Yes, sort of. So I don't think that they thought that it was actually Madagascar, probably.
probably
But
not, no.
certainly these things are intended to be like movies to placate small children. Like small children will watch anything, so
Right.
you can stick
Right.
them in front of this and it will be fine. Or like, oh look, there are animals on the cover. Surely my child will watch this sort of thing. So like these are filmmakers, sometimes loosely using the term, who are out to make a quick buck, pretty
Yep.
much.
Yep.
There is not necessarily any artistry to be seen in a mockbuster. It is all about the cash grab. So there's not a whole lot to admire about the genre of mockbusters as a whole, but as everybody will know at this point, I have a very big soft spot for any kind of filmmaker who refuses to accept their own limitations. And there are so many examples across this movie of the filmmakers refusing to accept their own limitations. I was not able to find a budget for this movie, but I'm gonna guess even bad animation is expensive. So I'm gonna guess that it was not totally micro budget, but probably a few $100,000 at least. You weren't able to find a budget figure for the movie, were you?
No, I was not.
Yeah, these are not easy to come across. So
Yeah.
it's being made for not quite pocket change, but just a little bit more than that. So things that they managed to pull off despite this being made for like a little bit more than the money that Robert D. Hanna and his friends found in their couch cushions. The opening of the movie. So when the movie opened, the immediate thing that I thought of was like I'm watching a 90s video game
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
90s video game music, which was apparently also written by the director of the film. He's
Yep.
apparently a songwriter in his other
Yeah,
life
he
or
is.
something like that, which I can believe. You go kind of zooming through the tall grass of the jungle. Then you come to this panorama. And the panorama was a bold choice because we are not looking at high budget 3D animation here. But it was certainly a choice. And it's one of the prettier shots in the movie. Like, we basically spent the entire opening 5 minutes or so on atmosphere and scene setting, which is something that I wish more animated films would do, especially the ones that have the budget to do so.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the opening gave me hope, I would say, a fair amount of hope for what was to come next. And then we start to actually meet the characters, and I instantly fell in love with the design of the main character. So you talked a little about Pip or Pim, or actually, when his owner first said his name, I thought he had said Poop, and it took me a little while to figure out that he was
Yep.
not a dog named Poop.
You're right.
Um,
He did say poop in the first the first time he said it.
did he really? Oh God, maybe
I
I
think I
wasn't
think
hearing
it well
things.
it was like pupe, like like
Pupe,
something like
okay.
that. I
So we
could not
have, yes, Pupe or Pip or whatever his name is, the dog.
something. I don't know.
Yes, so he has a very recognizably dog-like face, but a kind
Mhm.
of dog human merger body. Like we don't ever see him walk on all fours, I don't
And
think. He exclusively walks on two legs.
he's weirdly buff too. He's got like biceps. Like
He's really buff.
yeah, it's interesting.
He's he's also wearing, as I think you pointed out already, this Argyle sweater vest
Yes.
over a salmon-colored pink polo
And
of sorts.
he's got a collar with like a bell that jingles.
He's got a collar with a bell that jingles.
Yup. And later on in the film, like I mean, still in that opening where we're still getting introduced to him, he has this unique ability where, you know, the car is going, his ears are being swept in the opposite direction that the wind should be sweeping it. I don't know if you noticed that, but you know, that's
I
interesting
did
physics.
not.
No, that was
I'm
that was
going to
something.
chalk that up to he probably uses massive amounts of product in his hair and on his ears because that would fit with his overall aesthetic.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And then it just dope. That would make sense. No, because he spends a lot of time. He's like a human. I don't know. This film just makes such interesting choices in terms of like, oh, is he an animal or is he a human? Because like part of the first scene we see introduced to him, like in the flashback of his past life, is him in front of a mirror in like a bathroom using a human toilet and fixing his hair or ears or fur like in the mirror, and
He's
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 combing it.
sitting on the toilet and it's
Yes.
set the whole sequence is set to spring
Hmm.
from the Four Seasons,
Yes,
which
yes,
talk about some chutzpah there.
yeah. And he flushes a golden handle on the toilet. I noticed the toilet has a golden handle, and he's like, yeah, and he goes to the mirror and he just he fixes his hair and everything. He just lives a very I again I'm very human but also dog. I don't know. It's very interesting.
At first, I
Um,
thought like he was one of the animals that like he speaks English when he's around other animals, but he speaks, in barks when he's around humans because I think he only ever speaks in barks to the human boy. But
yes.
then there's the scene where the boy's mom, I
Hmm.
think she's his mom, not 100% certain about that. There's the scene where she is feeding him what I believe is caviar. And he starts actually speaking to her in words, and this is not interpreted as something strange.
Well, I think that he is speaking to her in words, but she can't understand him. Like
Okay, is that what's going on?
I think he's speaking, but she can't understand him. That's what I think is happening, but I'm really not sure. I
Okay,
they
okay.
never make that clear.
He
Um,
occupies a strange liminal space between dog and possible human.
yeah, and I think
Pip does.
he eats with a fork, right? His human
He
hand is
does.
a fork. He needs his all the bones picked out of his fish too. Um, like she, yeah, because yes, he
Because
goes
she
like, oh,
left a bone in and he was very displeased.
he's very displeased. He eats at a table, not on the floor. Like, yeah. It's strange, but then sometimes, like when they're going on walks, then he walks on all fours, or he has a leash on him.
Oh, yes, there was this scene that I loved during one of his flashbacks to his old life
Mhm.
where the kid's dad is trying to take him for a walk in the snow and he just will not move.
Yeah.
Like he's a completely still animated creature and he
Yes.
does not move. And anyone who has ever tried to walk a reluctant dog will recognize this as entirely true to nature of dog
Absolutely.
that does not want to go for a walk
Hmm.
suddenly transforms into 100-pound block of concrete.
Yep. Yes. No. Again, just so much truth to it, but then also like, yeah, they just take liberties with having choose to make him a human sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um.
sometimes he suddenly becomes a human with a dog's head. But in any case, I really do love the design of this character.
Mhm.
The Argyle vest that he never takes off, even when he becomes, spoilers, a fully integrated creature of the jungle. He is still wearing this Argyle sweater vest because apparently it's just part of his body.
Yeah.
And the voice acting for this character is better than it has any right to be,
I
given the kind
know.
of film that this is. What was this guy's name? I looked it up, and then, of course, I didn't write it down. And so now I have to look it
It's
up again.
it's Jake Hamilton Lewis.
Jake Hamilton Lewis. What a wonderfully generic name,
I
too.
know. But
So
when I go on Letterboxd, it's the only thing I see he's ever done, like work for. Just Life's a Jungle. That's
yep, I have seen 100% of the films that he has been in. That
yeah,
is what Letterboxd is telling me.
yeah,
Great. That's a crying shame because I can definitely think off the top of my head of actors who have been in more things who did a worse job than this guy did. Despite this dog apparently being from Cambridge, Massachusetts, the filmmakers have decided that Cambridge, Massachusetts is like vaguely located in England or
yeah,
something, New
yeah.
England. But they apparently think that people from New England actually have English accents
Yep.
because Pip definitely has this like highly affected, faux posh English accent throughout at least most of the movie. And I think it's a really genuinely fun choice that they make. You could do pampered dog in so many other classical ways, but this is not the way that one usually portrays pampered dog, and I appreciated the variance
Honestly,
in this character type, if we want to call it that.
honestly, yeah. I his voice makes him really likable, even though, like, in my opinion, it makes him very likable. Like, it really is very
It
charming.
does.
Even though we open on Pip being like hateable, like one of the first scenes in his flashback, he like there's I think it lasts like 30 seconds or more of just him walking with an anti-cat t-shirt on, and then he
Yes.
goes and like pulls on a cat's tail for no reason. Just and is the first time we hear him talk is just hearing him say, I forgot what the line is, but it's something very like elitist to this cat in this British accent, and it's like it catches you so off guard, like
He's
crazy.
Oh, I wrote it down. I wrote it
Oh,
down.
oh,
You
great, great, great.
You dare utter a defiant protest to me? The nerve.
Yes, it's awesome. I burst out laughing. It was really good. Like the delivery of that was like too good. Like
And then you immediately cut to him like harassing the baby panther and getting almost mauled by the baby panther's mom.
yeah.
So
Um
comeuppance. This movie believes in comeuppance.
yes, it does. Um
You know who else I really liked,
who
despite
did
my
you
best efforts, was Cuckoo and Boo Boo, or whatever the
really
hyenas' names are.
really my brother was so creeped out by the skinny one. Which one was that? Boo Boo?
That was Boo Boo,
The skin yeah.
maybe?
I think it was Boo Boo. I think the skinny one was Boo Boo. He was
I
really
think so.
by that one.
I think Cuckoo was the one with the thicker stereotypical New York accent, and Boo
Yes.
Boo was the one who sounded maybe a little bit more like an actual hyena.
Yes, yes, this is true. But no, I found myself liking them too. They were like, honestly, they were jerks to Pip, in the beginning, but like, I think they kind of had a right to be because he's over here acting like he's better than everyone else.
He
They
totally deserved it.
he totally deserved it, and they end up pulling these pranks that they caught me so off guard. They were so unhinged, but so creative. I don't know. There was the one where where Pip was like, "Is there a restroom facility here? I have to make a poopy loopy."
Oh
That's
my
what he says.
God.
And the hyenas are like, "Oh yeah, we can show you a hole where you can do your business in." And they have him sit in on an anthill,
They
like a
take him to the
fire.
fire ant hill.
Yes.
Yes.
And they have him do his business there. And of course Pip is very distraught about that. And they have a good laugh.
They
But
have a dance party while he's covered in fire ants.
oh, because he's scratching himself and it looks like he's dancing. So then
Yes.
all the animals start dancing as he's scratching. Um
Because they have no budget, his scratching animation is the same as his dancing animation. So it looks like they're
Yep.
having another of their many, many dance parties that they have
So
throughout the
many
course of
dance
this
parties in
movie.
this movie. So many. But
If
anyway,
IMDb
yeah.
is to be believed, Robert D. Hanna was at one point a DreamWorks animator.
Yes, apparently,
And
according to
we
IMDb.
do know that DreamWorks is very fond of their dance parties.
Yeah.
And this seems to have been the major lesson that he took away from his time at DreamWorks is that the key to a successful animated children's movie is dance parties, because my goodness, do we have a lot of them here.
It just looked all the dance parties, all the animals looked like they were emoting like in a video game, like a 90s video game. Like they looked
Yes,
like the traditional like emote victory dance that you can like that happens after you succeed. Like it was really yeah.
that's so true. They're all
Really
dancing
video
in
game.
their video game idling animation.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
There's like this running theme here on Your Movie Rocks of me watching movies that probably should have been video games and
Hmm.
possibly should have been video games in a different era. I maintain that this actually reminds me very distinctly of a couple of particular video games too. The one that is coming to mind, for reasons I cannot articulate fully, especially because I've never played it, is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Okay. I've never heard of this one.
So it is a I've only ever seen clips of other people playing it, but it is a game about a squirrel. I think I'm gonna horribly offend some like really big Conker's Bad Fur Day fan in the audience here. But I believe it is about a squirrel who has been on a bender trying to make his way back to his girlfriend despite his massive hangover.
Okay.
And the main thing that I remember from watching clips of this game is that at one point, I believe fairly late in the game, he has to fight an operatic singing pile of feces called the Great Mighty Pooh.
There's no
And
way.
yes, and that
That's
is for whatever reason what I kept thinking of as I was watching this because it felt like the animation styles feel very similar.
that that is so Life's a Jungle. Like that concept to me is very Life's a Jungle. I wait, I need to look this
And
up. It's
I
crazy.
also do think this is another differentiating this from many other mockbusters out there. I think that the filmmaker's self-awareness is showing on
Yes,
screen every so often.
absolutely.
And I think that the amount of self-awareness they are showing is a good thing in this
Hmm.
case. This comes out, among other places, in the sound design. Allie, what were your favorite sound effects used in this movie?
So after Pip bullies the cat bef the cat like wants to, throw a ball at him in revenge, right?
Yes.
And before the cat does that, it does like a little wave, like in the
Yep.
rainbow, like a little rainbow wave, and you hear a little sparkle sound effect, and it just comes out of nowhere. There is no reason. Like I don't understand what it meant. Like they just decided to put that in there. And it was like that SpongeBob scene where he goes imagination with the rainbow hands.
Oh my God, did they just straight up steal that sound effect?
I don't know. I don't know if they stole it, but I don't know. Or they picked out like sparkle.mp3, like whatever that is, like off of like Pixabay or
Yes,
whatever.
Pixabay or freesound.net or whatever
Yeah.
they're going
And
to.
they just put that in there. There's another sound effect I loved where okay, there's a rhino, an evil rhino that is like stealing water from a trough, and as he's like sucking up the water, and there's like a bathtub drain sound going off as he's sucking up the water, and then he goes to pee right after because he drank all that water, and you
Yep.
hear like an unzipping of invisible pants, invisible
Yes.
flies, an invisible fly, and then but you don't hear a peeing noise. You just hear the unzipping fly,
And he's not wearing pants.
and he's not wearing pants, and then you don't even hear him pee, and then he zips it back up, and that's it. It's like they pick and choose what they want to um you know put sound in for.
Yes, so those were incredible. Also,
Yeah.
every time Pip falls, which happens a lot,
Hmm.
no matter what he hits, be it the ground or a leaf or a rather dense cloud, he will go boing,
Yep.
boing, boing.
Yep.
Great use of the boing sound effect
Yes.
here. Um, the fact that every time somebody touches his nose, it makes a little honking clown nose sound.
Yes.
Um,
Amazing.
Yeah, those were the big ones. And also, I think you pointed out earlier that like anytime anybody like so much as touches their face or their skin, they use the punching sound effect.
Yes, this is true.
It's just like the sound is a joy in this movie because you're constantly listening for whatever they're going to fill in next. And just as you think you've kind of got the idea of the soundscape, they do something like a rhinoceros zipping up an invisible fly.
I
So if nothing else, that's going to keep you on your toes for quite a while. And that's one of the things that makes me think just like they knew. They knew exactly what they were doing and they had some fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and then there's another one. I remember, oh yeah, it's like, okay, do you notice how like Pip and then some of the other animals have like crazy voice changes at some points?
Yes.
Like like whenever this is another like is he dog or is he human kind of thing where whenever Pip is like he like grunts or something, it sounds very like like dog
Yes.
whining-ish. It just comes out of nowhere. Or like the baby panther has a normal voice, but then it'll start crying like a human baby, and it just it's so strange. It
And
gets me
again,
annoyed.
they downloaded dog.mp3 from
Exactly.
Pixabay. And that's where they
Exactly.
got this from, or whatever the 2012 equivalent of Pixabay was.
So many gems.
I am convinced that they just straight up stole the MGM lion roar for the
Yeah,
panther because that's what it sounds like.
you're so right. It does sound like that. It does.
The other thing that absolutely convinced me that like these people know exactly what they're doing and they're having fun with the fact that this is what they were doing was the scene where Pip teaches the hyenas to play golf. So
Ah,
they've been playing like gourd hacky sack or gourd football. It's
yeah.
like vaguely football, but
Gordo.
they're
It's
yes,
it's called
gordo.
Gordo. Gordo,
Gordo.
which means fat in Spanish. And yeah, it was like a football ripoff almost.
Yeah,
Uh
they're playing vaguely football with a a gourd.
Yes.
And then Pip is like, "This is such a violent sport. Let me teach you a civilized sport." And so he shows them golf.
Yep.
And they are, of course, deeply unimpressed.
Yep.
And then this happens shortly before he asks them about restroom facilities.
Hmm.
And one of the hyenas says something about like, you just find a hole and you just find a hole somewhere. It's just like golf,
Yes, I remember that line. And it
which
was
is
like,
why I have this circled and underlined and with a little heart next to it. Pooping
yeah,
is just like golf.
yep.
That's the
That's
message I'm taking away from this.
that's wonderful. Honestly, honestly, like yeah, like the self-awareness does show, and there are moments where I'm like, wow, that's kind of clever actually. Like that's I don't know. That's kind of funny. I don't know. Like not clever is the word, but like just like yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to have fun where they can. I don't know.
There's this balance that they strike between
Mhm.
completely ignoring their limitations and pretending like they're making a real movie, and then
Yeah.
embracing their limitations. Like
Yeah.
when the scratching animation is the same as the dance animation, or
Yep.
their sounds are all from some free sound effect library from the internet of 15 years ago.
Yep. No,
Also, they
exactly.
had a sloth named Flash, and they did it before Zootopia.
So Zootopia ripped off Life's a Jungle.
That's what
I
I'm
got
taking
that
away.
too. Yep. Yep.
And okay, I found this legitimately hilarious when the sloth named Flash is introduced and somebody says, like, aren't sloths supposed to be South American? And he's like, well, I got lost.
I got lost.
How better to characterize your kind of clearly stoner sloth?
And then he goes off and he does this thing where he starts like I don't know, the voice actor like couldn't quite figure out how to like nail the sloth voice. He would start speaking normally and then he'd slow down out of nowhere and then he'd talk normally again. And then like there's a point where the sloth is going somewhere and at first he goes really really fast and then he slows down, like time just stops for him. It's like it's such a I don't know.
And it's like, did you guys try to do a slow-mo effect and then realized you didn't know how to do one, or you had to upgrade your subscription to the program for that one?
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
We haven't even addressed like the primary conflict of the movie, which is the war between the other jungle creatures and the rhinos. Can we
Yeah,
discuss briefly the design of the rhinos?
the physical design.
Yes.
They are on two legs. They stand up on two legs. Um, they have a very intriguing walking animation cycle and running animation cycle. That I think is so memeable, honestly. Honestly, although this film is filled with so many memeable moments. I don't know, what did you notice about them, about their
So
physical?
they had fingers, first of all.
Yes.
There was that.
Yeah.
Um, they had quite the charging animation as well.
Yes.
This was another one of those moments where it was just like, okay, I guess we're not accepting the limitations of our budget and form now. Those were not rhinos of any, those are not recognizable to any earthling as rhinos. What they were recognizable as was very funny kid movie antagonists.
Yeah. I think so. I will say my brother, he found that the least favorite part of his film. Like anytime the rhino showed up, like my brother was like, "No, let's get back to the main plot. I want to see Pip find his family." But this was like he thought this was a total detour. I really I mean, I really liked how, the movie kind of switched up from the Pip finding his human family plot, and it became, oh, like the whole conflict is solved by rhinos getting laid. Like this is like all about rhinos. These antagonist rhinos, they're upset for like no reason. They want to hog this water hole all for themselves. But then like the way Pip solves this is by saying, "Hey, I know some girl rhinos that you guys would like." And the the rhinos get distracted from the water hole and they're like, no, I want to be with, I want to find the ladies. And so Pip finds them.
Girlfriends would be nice.
Yeah, girlfriends would be nice. Oh, they smell good. That was said like 3 times, by the way. Like that same line.
Uh-huh.
Girlfriends would be nice. And
Love conquers all.
yep, love conquers all. Although, I will say when Pip finds the female rhinos, he was like, "Oh, do you guys want to like meet some boys, whatever?" The female rhinos at first were like, "No, I don't need a man. Like, I don't need a." And I was like, "You go. Like, you go."
Yeah.
Like, the feminist rhinos.
It's not your job to fix this.
I know. But then of course, you know, this was directed by a man. The female rhinos finally say, "Okay, we'll go see these boys." Or it's like boys would be nice.
Hmm.
We could use some security and protection around here. Um,
Let's view it in a positive light. The girl rhinos need companionship just like the boy rhinos do.
yep, yep, they do. And so they go and they go to the male rhinos, and after like some excruciating like flirting noises or whatever that was I heard all throughout this last bit of the film, they were like,
Yep.
I don't even want to try to repeat the noises I heard while these rhinos or creatures, like you were saying how alien they
No need.
were
Just
flirting
go
with each
watch
other.
the film, people.
Just go watch the film. It was crazy. Yeah. uh, anyway, love love saves them all. This movie
And
is
then they open a nightclub.
Oh yes, they open a nightclub. Yeah. And at first the rhinos don't want to invite Pip's like jungle friends, but then finally Pip convinces them to open one. Or actually the girl rhinos also say like, "Hey, you should open up the club for other animals." And so
Hmm.
they're all happy together, I guess, dancing in the nightclub in one of I think it's like the fifth or sixth dance party of the entire film. Um,
Yep, that
yeah.
sounds about right. It is,
Yep.
in fact, such a dance party that when Pip's family finally does show up and find him at the Rhinos nightclub, during the tearful reunion scene where we're waiting to learn the choice that Pip is about to make, um, there is one lady rhino who is still grooving away in the background because they forgot to switch over to her other animation.
I love that.
And
No,
it was
you're
like, you know what? That's a perfect metaphor or symbol or something like that for this film over here. This
yeah.
film is that one lady rhino still grooving in the background while everybody else is doing what they're supposed to do, not given a care in the world.
Yep. There are a lot of moments like that where like something in the background is unaddressed. There's this one scene where Pip is captured and he's tied up and he's being roasted over a fire, where I see a big pile of poop suddenly disappear from the background.
I
It's like,
missed this. Oh
yes,
my God.
it just like it just disappears into the ground. And there are other moments where suddenly like flowers bloom and then disappear. They're just little like if you pay attention to the background, just a lot of things are just going wrong, like glitching. It's entertaining to pay attention to that, you know.
The movie will
Um,
keep you on your toes.
it'll keep you on your, yeah, I was some of the most you think it's like a normal kids movie that's like really cheesy and trying to be a real movie but miserably failing, but then suddenly like you said, like I don't know if it's self-awareness or whatever would come in and the most unhinged kind of thing would just kind of like happen.
It's
Yeah.
either like everybody's drunk and doesn't care, or maybe
Mhm.
everybody isn't drunk but also doesn't care, or we've just decided to embrace that we are doing this as a cheapy cheap cash grab and we're going to have some fun with it and try to make it interesting anyway. Right before the roasting scene, where apparently we have disappearing piles of poop, occurs my favorite sequence in the entire movie that made me legitimately crack up, which is when this is like Pip's lowest point in the entire movie, where his friends have rejected him because his plan to build them plumbing out of bamboo, that is also a thing that happened. He tried to resolve the watering hole wars by building like an irrigation
Yes.
channel out of bamboo,
Yes.
which grows on the Serengeti now. I don't know, maybe it does grow on the Serengeti. I don't know anything about the flora of the Serengeti, But in any case, it doesn't work, and his friends kick him out. And we, of course, have the sequence where he is running through the jungle alone, unsure of his identity or of his place in the world or where he is going to go or what he is going to do. And then we have a series of he gets chased by a crocodile, goes boing into a spider web, goes boing into a Venus flytrap, goes boing into a tree, goes boing down to the ground, is confronted by a viper, then turns around and is confronted by a lion, and then runs into the middle of the rhino camp.
Oh, it's a
And just
dog eat
this is
dog
as
world.
beautiful a slapstick scene as I have ever seen in a real slapstick film.
No, it got me. It was. No. I genuinely, if it was better animated, I think the idea behind it is like not the worst. Like I think it genuinely I think it is really I really got a good kick out of it. No. Um
Yeah,
was
there is not nothing going on,
for sure. What was I gonna
which I
say?
realize doesn't sound like high praise, but there are so many of like you have to approach a movie as what it is. And when
Hmm.
you know you are watching one of these mockbusters, you should expect that you are getting like some Golden Films level abject like somebody has puked all over the ground and called it a movie sort of thing. And this is not that. There's actual effort here. So when you are able to approach the movie as what it is, like they tried. I want to
They
give them a little
did.
bit of credit where it's due.
Can I bring up something here? I wanted to know what
Yes.
you thought of the runtime. It's longer than Madagascar 3. It's an hour and 40 minutes long. Um, and what got me the most, I don't know, I know this is not everyone's sense of humor, but I am a huge fan of awkward humor and awkward silence. Every frame of this movie lasts like 3 seconds too long. They would they would say something and then it would rest on them just standing there after they say something for 3 extra seconds, and then it would cut to the next frame.
But the
It-
beautiful thing is that it feels like it was intentional. And it feels like it
yes,
was intentional because there's always something going on during the silences. Like
yes.
there's always a cricket chirping or an awkward sound effect happening,
Or
or
like a
someone is moving
movement.
into place.
I there's also this one part where like Basha the panther is like like drinking from the water hole and it's one slurp, 1 second later, one slurp, she pauses, another slurp, she pauses. This is like a 10-second scene of her drinking water. And then across the stream is the rhino, and the rhino is like out to get her, right? And we're all, like the rhino's gonna kill her or whatever. So he's like angry or whatever. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." And then you think he's gonna like jump into the water and go for her, but no, he like carefully lets himself down into the water, and it's again another 10 seconds of just this animation of
Uh-huh.
like transitioning into the next moment. It that those parts were, in my opinion, like the funniest parts of
And
this
I will
film.
also point out that when Ari Aster or Bella Tarr do this, you people call it art.
No, this is so true. This is so true. Do you know how many long shots I see in film school? Do you know how many,
How many long shots do you see in film school?
like, how
Tell me
many,
more.
no, no, like, how many, like, 1 minute, one single shots I see in film? Everyone wants to do the single shot, including myself sometimes. But like you kind of it is respected as art, these long awkward shots, I don't know. It again, it adds to the charm is all I really know to say at this
It
point.
does. And sometimes you got to shoot for the moon and the stars even when you know you are not reaching higher than the bathroom ceiling.
Yeah. Very true, very
Oh
true.
my goodness. Is there anything we haven't covered?
Oh my gosh.
I think what else do I have written down? Why was there a breaking china sound when the panther bit the crocodile's leg? Why not is the answer to that question.
That's what I was saying. Like you hear glass breaking, like at moments where there's no in the jungle where there's no glass. It's I don't know. Um,
Because what other sound effect do you use for that? You can't use the clown nose, obviously.
it's like random sound effect generator, and it's just whatever one comes up. Um,
What did
yeah,
I write? Oh, the flashback scene where Pip is playing fetch with his owner, except that he is throwing the stick and the owner is bringing the stick back
in his mouth. The owner, the
in
human,
his mouth.
picking it up in his mouth, and he puts it down. It's
Yep.
crazy.
And then sometimes Pip just like throws the stick in the kid's face with
Yep.
accompanying sound effect because that's how the animation works out.
I love when the bird is flying and you hear plane sound effects. That was pretty cool.
And again, why not? Let that
Yep.
bird be a plane. Let that
Yeah.
bird fly as high as it want. Did
Yep.
the aardvark shoot bones into the vulture's butt? Okay, yes, that's what we were talking about earlier when the aardvark could apparently use his nose as a pea shooter of some sort.
Were they teeth or
Were
were they bones?
I was
I
hoping you
don't
could answer that question.
I thought they were teeth, but I don't
Were
know
they,
where he got the teeth from.
yeah, were they his teeth?
Hmm, I don't know.
Were they and then somebody said something later that made me think that they were porcupine quills, but there's no porcupine.
There was, yeah, he just conjures them, I guess. I don't know. Maybe
Sh
maybe he
Again,
has them in his pocket for these situations specifically. He just yeah, gets them ready.
again, of course he did, is
Of
the
course he
answer.
did. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Also, Pip's owner had a furry baby fetish. Why did I write that? Oh, yes, because he's
Oh,
having the flashback to when his owner would dress him up in like baby doll clothes. And
that's the scene that has stuck with me in my mind. Like that stuck with me as my mind as a child. When you asked me to find like a movie that's gutter trash, I was like thinking in my head and this one image of a dog with a pacifier, horribly animated dog with a pacifier wearing like a pink bonnet, like stuck in my mind. That's the scene that I guess like traumatized or resonated with me as a child, and that's how I ended up going in and like trying to find this movie, and eventually, yes,
yeah,
this
I'm
is
gonna remember that one for a long time too, because
yeah.
that had certain Shining vibes to it after the
Mm,
hotel starts to go insane. And there are entire motion pictures that I have watched where if you held a gun to my head and said, describe a single frame of this motion picture in detail, I would not be able to do it.
yeah. It
I'm gonna have a few images from this one stuck with me for quite a long time.
Yep.
We've had some things tattooed onto my eyeballs from this, and I will spend the rest of my life wondering if the baby panther's name is Callie or Collie or Carly, and if she actually, like, did she actually adopt Pip as her new dad, or
Yeah, she kept calling him Dada, and the mom didn't protest when she called him Dada at the
yeah, the
end.
mom stopped correcting her when she did this,
Yeah,
so
did, did they get together?
a
No.
beautiful blended family now, I guess?
Yeah.
And I will also spend the rest of my life trying to figure out how self-aware these people were when they made
Maybe
this film.
maybe that's another credit to the character development that Pym goes through. Like he finally gets over his hatred of cats by eventually
Yes.
fathering a baby panther, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
More time should have been devoted to him overcoming that particular pathology, I say. Like I think the movie should have been longer. In any case, this one's gonna stick with me for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, Allie. Did I actually like this movie? How much did I actually like this movie?
So I'm going to guess on, thinking about letterboxed ratings, I'm gonna guess that you honestly, the most popular rating on Letterboxd for this film is a half a star. I'm gonna guess that's what you would give it. Half a star.
You're not far off.
1 star. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I was not able to talk myself into thinking that I actually like this movie. It's really bad. But I am able to talk myself into thinking that I respect it more than the average mockbuster crap that I have
Okay.
seen. And I try to reserve my half-star ratings for the absolute bottom of the barrel.
I see. I see.
If
Okay.
I'm being honest, we're going to call this like 0.75 stars, but we'll go ahead and round that up to 1.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not getting a heart, though. This movie had no business being an hour and 40 minutes long.
I
Good
know.
Lord.
I know. I know. Again, it's just the awkward frames, the long frames that take up most of the space.
I meant what I said about how sometimes it was really funny, and I think you had a point about the awkward humor, but just how long did you leave that idling animation rotting away before you turn the camera off?
Should have been a video game. They
Should have
loved
been
their
a video
idle
game.
animations. Should have been a video game.
I would play this video game just to
Yeah,
see what the heck was going on in there.
I could imagine a bunch of video like mini games within the video game where you're playing Gordo or you're playing golf or like you have to
Yes,
get across the bridge while alligators are snapping at you.
that's
Like
the boss fight. They even had boss fight music for it.
they did. No, you're right. Man, wasted potential. Wasted potential. Just the
Oh
wrong
yeah.
medium. The wrong medium. Yeah.
Oh well, maybe I will have convinced one person out there to go and seek out all hour and 40 minutes of this for themselves,
It's
in which
free on
case we
YouTube.
have done our jobs. It is free on YouTube. That's how I found it.
The comments are hilarious. Check those out too. I mean, you can screen record a part for like a meme or something if
Indeed. Indeed, you could.
mm-hmm. Um or
It is
traumatize
an hour and
with
40
it.
minutes long.
It is it'll keep your kid entertained for an hour and 40 minutes.
No, I will not be showing this to my child. Thank you.
How
I
old
have
is
standards.
how old is your kid? Just
He's
curious.
4.
He's 4.
He's
Okay.
almost 5.
Yeah, please don't do that to him, actually. Please don't.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd even show him the original Madagascar. It's been a long time since I saw it, but I do not remember thinking very highly of it.
No, it Madagascar is pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's
Um,
all right. Well,
yeah.
Allie, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for introducing me to this wonderful movie that we love.
You're welcome. Really, it's such an interesting journey coming from you being like my teacher slash thespian kind of coach, and then I make you watch this, and now we're here. I don't know. My mom especially was kind of like, you made Dr. Albert watch this, like you recommended this to her. She was like not having it. And you could talk to Blake about it later. Blake's your creative writing student, right? Or he's not going to be anymore because the semester ended, but
He was, but yes, I'm sure we'll catch up on that
yeah,
matter.
you should talk to him about it.
Yeah. So, Allie, as a film student now, I assume you make some films. Is there anywhere that people can, if they would like to view some of your work?
So on Instagram, go to deranged_hands. And there's a link in my bio where you can check out some of my stuff. But a lot of it is still circulating festivals or whatever. I have a screening January 15th in New York if you're there.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, information for that is on Instagram.
All
So
right, fabulous. So we will drop a link in the show page as well.
awesome.
And this has again been I'm so happy that this is where things ended up. Um, you too can go watch Life's a Jungle, Africa's Most Wanted. And in the meantime, as many of you know, you can hear us talk and write and maybe, I don't know, sing about lots of other great movies on alternateending.com. Listen to the other episodes of the podcast, support us on Patreon, and we will talk to you next month about some other fantastic movie. Bye bye.